Hi everyone, if you're a beginner at chess, this video is for you. I'm going to be walking you through 10 reasonably easy chess puzzles. On chess.com I've selected 1000 to 1200 as the difficulty. So I'd say for beginners or people who have just started to study a little bit. And let's get right into it. You're welcome to pause the video if you want to try and solve them yourself. Black to move in this first one here. Quick scan around. We're down a lot of material, so that makes me think it's probably going to be checkmate. And I believe it's made in 2, if you want a clue. So we start with rook e2. White only has 1 legal move, and then queen c2 is checkmate. So yeah, just a nice checkmate pattern. Mating net, we call it, where there's no escape from checkmate. Number 2, white to move. Okay, what's going on here? 2 rooks and a bishop and a queen. Okay, again, this king is a bit suspicious, I'd say. So I'm thinking of checks. For example, we can sacrifice on b6, because after the king takes, we can then come in with the queen. I think that's the solution, but it's not as easy as I would think. So we take on b6, king takes, otherwise we've won a free pawn, and our queen would come in to b8 if they don't take the rook. So after they take the rook, do we go queen b8 or queen d6? Probably queen d6 and just win this rook. And then this rook is threatening to come in as well. Okay, this was a bit tricky. It has to do with undefended pieces. I should have made a note at the start actually of the undefended pieces, which are usually very important in basic tactics, right? When a piece is undefended, we can usually win it. So yeah, this rook's undefended. We can take advantage of that with this double attack. The queen will come in with check and attack the rook. But yeah, this was not simple, I'd say. Bit of geometry. Here it's always good to look if there's any other checks. For example, if this bishop could somehow come here and check, it would maybe be worthwhile, but here, okay, we can take with check, so that's just as good. And then probably next move we'd get the other rook in, and it would lead to checkmate pretty quickly. Number 3, materials equal, but this king again is very suspect. They are attacking our knight, but this seems more pressing, right? This king, which is under fire from our pieces, even this knight can check from f6 since this pawn's pinned. So that looks good actually, knight f6. Black's only got 1 legal move, king h8, and then another check in the position. H takes g7 is checkmate. So nice mate in 2. I probably should have said mate in 2 at the start if you wanted a clue. If we start with rook takes, then after king to the corner, it's not so obvious how to continue. So that's why it's nice to take with the pawn and it be check. So we need the king here. So knight f6 and pawn takes, checkmate. That was number 3. Number 4. Okay, 2 pieces, 2 rooks. Queen's attacked. We do have a check on e6. Which looks pretty good, because after they recapture, if they don't recapture, then okay, they have to recapture because our bishop covers these squares, right? So rook takes e6. Again, it's always useful to start with the checks because they're the most forcing move. They recapture. Now we take on e6 with the queen, and black's only legal move there is to block with the queen, and then we have checkmate. So this is forced mate in 3. So yeah, very nice. Very important to have full board awareness, it's called, when we see pieces from other sides of the board, the other side of the board, acting on another side. It's very important to always be aware of all of those things. Otherwise we could miss that we have forced checkmate and we don't capitalize and go on to lose, for example. That's why it's so important to practice these puzzles. Number 5, I'll try and speed up a little bit. Here we have mate in 2. Again, full board awareness. This bishop pins this pawn on g2, which means h3 is not protected. So we can just take on h3. King has 1 move, or the bishop can block, but after both of those moves, we take on g2, protected by the bishop. So mate in 2. Number 6, black to move. This looks like a back rank issue, right? White's back rank is weak. The king can't escape. So if we can get a piece to the back rank, it's basically checkmate. So this doesn't work, rook c1, because after bishop takes, this rook won't come in with check. But we can start with this rook, And after bishop takes, now rook c1, because the bishop's no longer protecting c1. I should have mentioned at the fast that, yeah, my plan was to go fast, but you can always pause the video or re-watch certain sections if it's harder to follow when I'm going so fast. So rook c1, check, checkmate. Number 7, white to move. 2 rooks, 2 pieces. Checks captures threats. We have an interesting check with the rook, because that also opens up for this bishop check, which might be important. So rook takes basically forces knight takes, otherwise we've won a free rook. And after knight takes, queen e8 isn't checkmate because they block on f8 with the queen. I'm going to make this move first and then calculate here. So if check first, they have to block. Oh no, they can go king f8 maybe. So yeah, queen e8, queen f8, bishop c4. They block with the bishop. No, queen e8, queen f8. Why is this so tricky? What am I missing? Bishop c4. Bishop blocks. Bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes. Ah, yeah. For some reason I forgot that we're attacking e6. We'll have enough attackers on e6. Right. Yeah. So now we've got 2 attackers on e6. For some reason I had a blind spot with this. Because I thought we had an issue with the rook attacking our queen. But yeah, there's 2 pieces here. There were 2 pieces here, so I got a bit tricked. So here after bishop takes, we then take with the queen and we're up a piece. Okay. Goes to show that even simple puzzles can be tricky sometimes. But that's why you have to keep studying. You have to be prepared to fail in chess, in many different sports and games, right? No excuses. 3 more. Black to move. Let's try and have a good one here. Quick one. So we can pin the bishop. So rook g8 attacks the bishop, right? Which is pinned to the king. The only way to save it is to defend with the rook, but then we would attack with the king. So maybe they give a check, but then I was thinking king e7, still attacking the bishop. The only way to defend is with the rook, but now we attack the rook. And if check, we win the bishop, yeah. So we have to keep the king close enough to be able to access f7 once the rook moves. For example, rook here is the threat, right? So we need to keep the king close enough to now attack the rook. And once it moves back, we just take this piece for free. And we're up a piece. Okay, 2 more. This looks pretty straightforward. Bishop a6, check. One of the only checks in the position. We do have some queen checks, but they will lose the queen. So bishop a6 forces either the queen to give itself up or the rook. If rook blocks, we would have queen b1, checkmate in 2. So king has to move, but then we take the rook with checkmate. Okay, so here queen b1 and queen d1. And last one. White to move. I think I've had this one before in one of the first videos I made for this channel. Goes to show the importance of tactics because they get fixed in your memory. Like I can, in 2 seconds, I recognize this position, even though I've probably done it months ago. So this is similar to the last one, I guess. We have a check, queen sacrifice, very nice. Because after king takes, bishop c5 attacks the king. This rook cuts off this column, so the king has to move back. And then rook e8 would be checkmate. The knight can also block after this check, but we just take it. And checkmate. Okay, don't forget to rewatch if you need to go through some of the variations again. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.